Welcome to this DaVinci Resolve Fusion node breakdown. Today's node is the MultiPoly Node. Now, yesterday we went over the polygon and the B-spline nodes. And what I didn't go over is kind of how you have multiple ones. So if I created a B-spline and I needed to add another one, you can't do it to this existing one. So you would have to say, well, you could stack them. I could bring in another one. Bring this in, make another node. And I could bring that into my footage, and I've got two. So, and another thing to note about these nodes is right off the bat, I can animate them. So it already wrote a keyframe. So if I go here, make a change, and I play that all back, it's animated. I don't have to do anything additional. It's just animated. Now you could also use this to use the paint nodes. The paint mode. And you could say subtract it, do whatever you got to do, add it. Another way to do it is do the multi-merge. So if I had that node, I can bring in, say, a polygon node, create a polygon. I can bring in my other nodes, merge them all together, bring it into my footage, and it's doing the same thing. So you can operate this way, but once you start getting tons of different rotoscope levels and layers going on, this could get very messy, whether you use a multi-merge or you just keep stacking them. So Fusion has another node called the MultiPoly. So we'll hit Shift Space and bring up the MultiPoly node. And what this node does is it allows you to create multiple polygons and B-splines all within one node. So if I create one, I can simply add a B-spline, create my B-spline. I can add another polygon, create a polygon, all within the same node, and just pump that into my footage, and I've got all of them in one node. So let's go ahead and refresh this. Now, another thing I kind of didn't go over yesterday is viewing even within these nodes. So if I connect this up and I want to draw on here, most people will just leave it disconnected, be selected on that, make their selection, and then once they're done, connect it, disconnect it. You could also invert this so you can see what you're doing and create all your splines, and then once you're all done, you can re-invert it so you can see what's going on. Now, one trick with the MultiPoly tool is, if you remember right, when we selected our roto assist up here, it automatically brought in our background. So let's delete all these. We're going to create a polygon, and without making anything or select anything, we're just going to select this roto node, and we're going to rename. If you right click, you can go down here and rename your mask. We're going to rename this to viewer and delete. So now we can create our B-splines and say we want to create one around her glasses. And I'm not going to be exact on this. I'm just trying to show. We can rename, and believe me, naming convention is extremely important in VFX, so you don't get lost. We can name this lens right. And let's create another one for our left lens. We can rename this lens is left, and we've got our lenses. Now, one thing to remember is when you initially make shapes, unlike the other ones, it's not automatically keyframing your stuff. So if we go to our lens right and we click this little keyframe, it'll make a keyframe for us. Now we can go over here and change our stuff, and it'll start keyframing. It's not just going to do it automatically, so just remember that. And I'm going to right click and remove all, so I am not animated anymore. Another good thing about working with the MultiPoly is doing any type of holdouts or anything are a lot easier and just better, easier to work with. So if I get our glasses a little closer to where they should be, and I needed to create a holdout on this mask with her nose, all I have to do is I can create a polygon. And I can round all this out. And let me hide my handles. And we'll get that a little closer. And right down here for our paint mode, all we have to do is hit subtract. And let me unhide this so we can see what's going on. So to turn this viewer off and to be able to see it, your masks in your media, just shut the viewer off. So I can go in here and select my nose, hold out, and hit subtract. So now it's just removing that from our mask. So it's an easy way to work, just stacking all this stuff. So let's go to our viewer layer, turn it back on. So now say we needed to add more for her lips. So add a B-spline. Remember, hold your W key to sharpen it up a little bit. Let's rename this to lips bottom. And you can duplicate it if you want. Lips top. And then edit it. So again, I'm not being perfect. I'm just trying to prove a point here. So we got the lips bottom and the lips top. But let's say you decided to say, hey, I want all my glasses right here because I'm going to rename this one to glasses. And I want a separate one for her lips. So what you could do, and actually I'm going to show you what goes wrong first, and then I'll show you the correct way to do it. But you have the option to split here. So if I select split here, it's going to create a new node based off everything from the top up. So now I've got a separate node with lips and one with glasses. But if you notice, I have no way to shut off my viewer node now. I do in here. But if I want to come in here and see my viewer, I can't. So a better way to do this when you first create this one, and let me undo all this till I go back to one, is before you hit that split to split anything, go to your viewer, delete now thing we made here, and turn it off. Then go split, and now I don't have an issue with that. So I can just create a new polygon turn this on if I would like to. Turn that on. And rename it to viewer delete. But make sure both viewers are on. So in order for this to work, you need to have all viewers within each one on. So that's how that works. But you've got viewers in there, and when you're all done with all your stuff, all you have to do is make sure you're turning everything off so you can see your nodes. That is it. Now on the bottom down here for each one of your splines, you have the same menu system that you have on your individual polygon and B-spline. Is exactly the same. So that is your multi-poly tool. I will see you in the next node breakdown.